I understand that, and nobody has had more contentious relationships with President Trump than I have. I don't think any governor in the country had more contentious relationships. But at the same time, he could be very, very helpful to New York City. So defend anything that offends New York values. But if you can find a way to work together and he can help New York City, then, then you work together. I represent all New Yorkers, and that was my position from day one with President Trump. And I said publicly as governor, I will defend New York with my life. And you're a tough guy, I'm a tough guy. But I'll put my hand out to work together in partnership. I said that on day one, and I say that today.
Can I clarify, Governor, on the Henry with Fix 11, on the underlying premise of the reporting in the New York Times that the president is thinking about weighing in, you yourself have said this needs to narrow between one of you and Mr. Mamdani for someone to reasonably have a chance. So on the underlying premise, he's talking to your pollsters, he's talking to certain of your supporters, which was in the reporting. Would you welcome him weighing in to the extent that he clears the field for someone, and I assume you hope that would be you?
Yeah, my theory is, look, first you're asking what is the political calculation of the president? You're asking the wrong guy. But I would say Eric Adams is a wholly owned subsidiary, right? He went to a lot of trouble to establish the mayor of New York City is under his control. So if he put Adams in control, why wouldn't he want to keep Adams in control? Or I could see him saying, I want the assemblyman to win because politically I can make a lot of points with him politically as evidence that the Democratic Party has lost its mind, and I can then exert more control over New York City because I can say that he is unfit and there's a crime problem and the federal government could come in like it did on LA. So I could argue both of those are more attractive. Or he could say, Curtis Lee, who's the Republican, I'm going to try to make a Republican mayor.
But you don't see him backing you?
I think I have the least to offer. As I said, we had a contentious relationship. And I think from his political point of view, and again, you're asking the wrong guy, but if I were opining on his political point of view, the obvious political point of view, I would say I'm the last person he would want. Would you want to deal with me every day? You don't even like to deal with me in these press conferences. Can you
So how do you square that messaging with your previous statements saying you're the only one who can possibly stand up?
No. Let's be very clear, Gloria. I said what I said on day one as governor when he became president. To the extent he intrudes or invades on New York priorities, I will do everything I can to defend New York. And I have, and I did, and we won many, many important battles. He wanted the driver's licenses lists, so you could see all the undocumented people on the driver's license list. Because when we did driver's licenses for undocumented, it shows on the Department of Motor Vehicle list the name, and it says you're undocumented. They wanted that Department of Motor Vehicle list so they'd have in one place who's undocumented, their address, and their picture. So it would be a phenomenal vehicle for the immigration enforcement. We had a war over that, and I would not give it to them. And they withheld funds, and they kicked us out of the Trusted Traveler program, and I went down to the White House, and I had a war with the person who was in charge of Homeland Security in the Oval Office, right? So we've had many, many battles royale, and the president knows that. And that will never change. Sanctuary law, I will defend it with every ounce of strength. I also believe I'm in a much better position, and I'll be a much better advocate for New York than the assemblyman, who frankly is a rookie in all of this, and Mayor Adams, who basically signed on to Team Trump. So that's number one. At the same time, if there is a way to work with the president where New York City can be benefited, I would do that. You can't say, in my opinion, as a responsible official, either as governor or mayor, I'm not going to work with the president because he's a Republican and I'm going to play politics, and therefore I won't deal with him at all just because he's a Republican. That's a reckless, irresponsible, violates your oath of office. So that would, I didn't take that position either as governor, and I wouldn't as mayor. I don't recall the last time I spoke with him. I left a message after the attempted assassination. I don't believe I spoke with him. I believe I left a message for him. And on this race, I'm running as an independent, and I'm not seeking anyone's support. I'm running as an independent, and I like my position, and I like where I am, and I'll stay where I am. No. Well, I've spoken to him probably hundreds of times, right? I don't remember the last time, no.
Chris here has a question. Sorry.
Just to try to narrow it down, have you spoken to Mr. Trump this year?
I spoke to, the last contact was when I called to leave best wishes for the attempted assassination.
Got it. I wanted to ask a similar question to what Gloria just asked, but let me just clarify something first. The New York Times reported that you have spoken to Donald Trump about this. You're saying flat out that's false.
That's false.
That's false. Okay. Since it appears that Donald Trump is at a very least thinking about getting involved in race, what's the role you would want to try to push Aaron Adams out?
Because who knows? First of all, I think this is all gossip and intrigue to no end. President Trump has got a lot going on. Why he's going to get involved in a complicated New York City mayor's race, I have no idea. From his point of view, as I said, he already has Mayor Adams as a subsidiary, work on his behalf, continue control of New York City through the Mayor Adams, or for political benefit, help Assemblyman Mondami one way or the other, because I could see the political benefit to that, and I think he could then exercise more control, maybe even more control than Adams, by saying, I have to come in to help New York City, there's a crisis. But that is my political speculation. about what he would do. I don't know his political calculation.
If he were to endorse you, would you disavow it?
I would not seek his endorsement. I wouldn't accept his endorsement. I will, and same as governor, my position has been unchanged. I will defend New York against any policy that I think hurts New York State or New York City. But I will put my hand out to work in any way that he could be helpful to New York State or New York City.
We have two more questions, one question per person.
So during the primary, you pitched yourself to voters as the one person who would stand up to Trump. So now you're taking a much softer approach. So why the shift here? And then just on topic of what you raised today and all the other agenda items, how are you paying for this? So I understand that Kazani has a massive tax that he wants to put on people, and he wants to change a bunch of things like that, but you're still proposing a lot of free buses, you're proposing adding 5,000.
I got you.
all these
I got you.
services. How are you paying for that?
The first, my position is entirely consistent. From the time I was governor, no one has had more battles with President Trump than I have. Nobody. No more high consequence, high decibel level, high volume than I have. Many on national TV on a daily basis. That has not changed. I said as governor, and I say today, if the federal government can be helpful to New York City, then you have the ethical responsibility to be in a position to accept working together, right? You can't say, thumb your nose at the federal government just to play your politics. I have said that as governor, I've done it as governor, and it would be the same here. So it's exactly the same position. Are we clear on that?
Well, when you said to Politico, I spent 8 years in Washington and go to the U.S. Conference there, and part of laying out your anti-Trump agenda is kind of to fight against whatever
100%. And I would do that.
but now you're saying you'd be willing to work with them.
No. You have to be able to hold two separate thoughts in your head at the same time, right? One, you're going to oppose him on certain matters. I will oppose him on sanctuary city laws. I will oppose the Medicaid cuts. I would oppose cuts to SNAP, right, for example. And how do you oppose the president? What do you do as a mayor to oppose the president? Well, I'll sue him. Okay, that's great. Add it to the pile. There's 9,886 lawsuits, and now you're 9,887. You lobby, you go to the U.S. Conference of Mayors, you work with other mayors, you work with the governors, you go to Congress, you develop support, you go to legislators, Republican legislators, and you develop support, and that's how you develop support to oppose whatever Medicaid cuts, et cetera. I would do that. If there was an opportunity to work together on something, I would do that too. It's exactly what I did as governor. Opposed, majority of the time, we were in opposition, but whenever there was an opportunity to work together, we did. During COVID, we needed supplies. He sent supplies. And I accepted the supplies. I was not going to say, no, I'm not going to take N95 masks because you're a Republican.
But this messaging wasn't clear in the primary, so you understand the question of the shifting tone you had the president as the general.
No, it's just a more, I don't think we had this discussion in the primary at all to this extent.
This is the last, for Univision, Governor Mariel Salgado, I want to bring back immigration again because for us it's very important. We are seeing deportations. We know that President Trump's intention was to get rid of criminals, but unfortunately we're seeing them families are being separated, whether because they were in the wrong place or maybe they missed an appointment in court. They're being separated. So we said we will defend sanctuary cities, but the truth is that right now there's abiding by the law and they are contributing to New York City.
Yeah, this is case in point. When it comes to immigration, we have a sanctuary city law, which I would uphold and fight for. By the way, the state has a sanctuary state law, which I did by executive order. So state sanctuary city policy, state sanctuary law, New York City sanctuary city policy, I would enforce them 100%. I do believe Mayor Adams has compromised his position. I do believe as part of the deal he made with the president, he has agreed to cooperate with the immigration authorities. I think he put his own personal interest ahead of the interest of New Yorkers. I think that was a violation of his oath, and I think he did a disservice to all New Yorkers. I will oppose any violation of the sanctuary city law. You're also right that President Trump did say dangerous criminals, and on dangerous criminals, yes, we don't harbor criminals in New York City, and if there's a dangerous criminal who was convicted of a crime and is here illegally, we'll work with them to deport that person. But you have people here who have been working for years, paying taxes, doing jobs that nobody else wants to do, frankly, providing a service to this city. Why would you want to disrupt their families? For what purpose? They're posing no burden to anyone. As a matter of fact, they are a benefit.
But can you really get through the president, Mr. Coleman? You have a relationship and can actually get through that on behalf of those people.
Look, I will do everything that I can do. I would sue, I would lobby, I would beseech him personally. I would do everything that I could do because I think it's morally wrong. And on a human level, it is very, very disturbing. I mean, I talk to families who are just afraid to go out of the house. They're afraid to send a child to school. Workers who are afraid to drive their car because they're afraid they may get pulled over and somehow that winds up expediting them to deportation. So I would do any and all of the above.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Make the last question by the Justice Department.
Okay, yes.
So the city has fair fares, which offers a 50% discount to very low income workers. But there's historically always been a very low pickup rate. What makes you think you can do any better?
I think two things. First, take fair fares, which is 50%. We're saying 100%. And then there's no doubt that fair fares, there are many more people who are eligible for fair fares than who've actually subscribed. And part of this is you have to advertise it, you have to promote enrollment. I think the fact that it's free is actually going to generate more attention. You know, I get a 50% discount. What does that mean? I don't think it ever resonated with people. I think saying to people, you'd get a free pass, you don't pay anything, I think that's going to resonate naturally. But you'd also need to do more enrollment and advertising. I agree 100%. Thank you, guys.
Justice Department regarding their probe and your handling of COVID-related nursing home deaths?
Infinix GT30 5G Plus.
It's like midnight, 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 midnight. Don't lose your grip cause you don't like that.
Search on Flipkart.
मुरली जी के फादर का कैंसर का इलाज 3 साल चला। पॉलिसी बाजार की टीम ने उनके इलाज का 1 करोड़ का क्लेम अप्रूव करवाने में पूरी हेल्प की। बीमारी में हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस ही काम आएगा। पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 360 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
नमस्कार, मैं रवीश कुमार। क्या आपने राहुल गांधी की 7 अगस्त की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस देखी है? नहीं देखी तो समय निकालिए, खोज कर देखिए। पहले देखिए फिर सोचिए कि अगर इस तरह से वोटों की चोरी हो रही है तो यह चोरी नहीं डकैती है और भारत का लोकतंत्र हवा में उड़ चुका है। राहुल गांधी की इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस को आप यूं ही खारिज नहीं कर सकते हैं। अगर आप इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस को इसमें किए गए दावों का मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं तो निश्चित रूप से आप उन लोगों में शामिल हैं जिन्होंने चुनाव के जरिए भारत के लोकतंत्र को खत्म करने की एक शानदार और भयावह योजना बनाई है। चुनाव आयोग को अपने भीतर के इन अपराधियों को बाहर लाना चाहिए और बताना चाहिए कि कौन लोग थे जिनके इशारे पर यह काम किया गया। आयोग को अगर जनता में भरोसा बनाए रखना है तो उसे राहुल गांधी के इन दावों का मजाक उड़ाने के बजाय अब देश की जनता को जवाब देना चाहिए और अपनी विश्वसनीयता को बनाए रखने के लिए केवल कांग्रेस को नहीं, पूरे देश के लिए वोटर लिस्ट की इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉपी जारी करनी चाहिए ताकि कोई भी इस लिस्ट की जांच कर सके और भारत के चुनाव को लेकर अपना भरोसा दोहरा सके। जब हर नागरिक को एक वोट का अधिकार मिला है तो चुनाव आयोग को भी हर नागरिक को वोटर लिस्ट की इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉपी अपनी साइट पर 24 घंटे के भीतर जारी कर देनी चाहिए। यह वही एटम बम है जिसके फोड़ने की बात राहुल गांधी कर रहे थे। 7 अगस्त की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में उन्होंने सबूतों के साथ अपना एटम बम फोड़ दिया है। आज इस तरह तैयारी के साथ राहुल गांधी आए जैसे एप्पल के सीईओ आईफोन के नए वर्जन के लॉन्च के समय आते हैं। लेकिन यह प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस लॉन्च की नहीं है, भारत के लोकतंत्र के दी एंड की है। राहुल ने अपनी हर बात को प्रमाण के साथ दिखाया और बताया कि कर्नाटका के चुनाव में किस तरह की धांधली की गई। दरअसल यह धांधली और चोरी नहीं है, साफ साफ डकैती है। राहुल गांधी ने उन दस्तावेजों की ऊंचाई दिखाई जो चुनाव आयोग ने कांग्रेस को सौंपे हैं। इनकी ऊंचाई 7 फीट लंबी है। जाहिर है इतने दस्तावेजों को आंखों से देखना, एक एक नाम की खोज करना असंभव काम है। यही नहीं, इन दस्तावेजों में भी एक खेल किया गया। राहुल गांधी ने बताया कि चुनाव आयोग ने इस तरह से वोटर लिस्ट दी है कि उसका ऑप्टिकल कैरेक्टर रिकॉग्निशन नहीं किया जा सकता है। आयोग ने कांग्रेस को इस तरह से दस्तावेज क्यों दिए जिन्हें मशीन से पढ़ा ही नहीं जा सकता है?
Now analyzing this, if the election commission gave us electronic data, 30 seconds, right? And I repeat, this is why we are being given data like this, so that it is not analyzed. Next. Sorry, just go back. There's another very interesting thing that we discovered, which came as a shock to us, which is that these papers that are given, they themselves do not allow for optical character recognition. So if you scan them, you can't actually get the data out of them. And we were surprised, why? Why is the election commission protecting these pieces of paper? ठीक है, आप सॉफ्ट कॉपी नहीं देना चाहते, बट इनको क्यों प्रोटेक्ट कर रहे हो? राइट? एंड ईसी डिलिबरेटली प्रोवाइड्स नॉन मशीन रीडेबल पेपर्स। इलेक्शन कमीशन ने हमें डेटा इस प्रकार दिया है, 7 फुट 200-300 किलो। अब इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि अगर हम वोटर को निकालना चाहते हैं, मान लीजिए आपका चेहरा है, आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना चाहते हैं, तो आपकी फोटो को हमें सारी की सारी फोटोज के साथ कंपेयर करना पड़ता है। हर फोटो को देख कर ये फोटो ये है, तो आप सोचिए कितना काम है। अगर एड्रेस निकालना है तो आपके एड्रेस को अलग सारे के सारे एड्रेसेस से कंपेयर करना पड़ता है। बहुत भारी काम है। हमारा जो काम हो गया, थोड़ा फोकस हो गया, क्योंकि लोगों ने कहा कि देखिए ये मतलब इसमें ही हमें मतलब 6-7 महीने लगेंगे, इसमें 6 महीना लगा है। और हर कागज को हमने आइडेंटिफाई किया, कैटलॉग किया है, फोटोग्राफ निकाली है, कंपेयर की है, 6 महीने लगे।
अब आप बताइए, पहले तो चुनाव आयोग वोटर लिस्ट की इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉपी नहीं देता है, और जब देता है तो 7 फीट ऊंचाई के बराबर कई हजार पन्नों के दस्तावेज सौंप देता है। तो इस तरह से क्यों दे रहा है कि उन्हें मशीन से नहीं पढ़ा जा सकता है? क्या छिपाना है चुनाव आयोग को? क्या चुनाव आयोग को यह भरोसा था कि कांग्रेस पार्टी इस दस्तावेज का कुछ भी नहीं कर पाएगी, और करना चाहेगी भी तो उसे सालों साल लग जाएंगे, तब भी पता नहीं कर पाएगी? इसके बाद भी राहुल गांधी और उनकी टीम ने जो कमियां निकाली हैं, वोटों की खुलेआम डकैती से किसी के भी होश उड़ जाने चाहिए। क्या इसीलिए चुनाव आयोग ने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉपी नहीं दी? अगर उसके काम में घपले नहीं है, तब फिर डिजिटल इंडिया के इस देश में इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉपी क्यों नहीं दी जा रही है? हर नागरिक को यह सवाल पूछना चाहिए। राहुल गांधी ने कहा कि इसलिए कर्नाटका के एक लोकसभा क्षेत्र के एक विधानसभा को चुना गया, क्योंकि यह काम मुश्किल हो गया। एक विधानसभा के वोटर लिस्ट की जांच में ही 30-40 लोगों की टीम लगी रही, और उस एक विधानसभा के वोटर लिस्ट की जांच में 6 महीने लगे हैं। यह विधानसभा है बेंगलुरु सेंट्रल लोकसभा का महादेवपुरा। राहुल गांधी ने बताया कि 25 सीटों के कारण, इसी तरह की 25 सीटों के कारण नरेंद्र मोदी प्रधानमंत्री बने हैं। जिस तरह से महादेवपुरा में राहुल गांधी ने घपला पकड़ा है, अगर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डेटा मिल जाए तो सच्चाई और भी भयावह हो सकती है।
नरेंद्र मोदी 25 लोकसभा सीट के कारण प्रधानमंत्री हैं। हमें इलेक्शन कमीशन यह डेटा इसलिए नहीं दे रहा है क्योंकि अगर हमने जो यहां महादेवपुरा में किया, अगर हम इसे बाकी लोकसभाओं में करा देंगे तो देश की डेमोक्रेसी की, लोकतंत्र की सच्चाई बाहर आ जाएगी। ये अब एविडेंस है, ये क्रिमिनल एविडेंस है, और इलेक्शन कमीशन देश में पूरे एविडेंस को डिस्ट्रॉय करने की सोच रहा है। मैंने जैसे कहा 21वीं सदी है, एक हार्ड ड्राइव पे आप पूरा डेटा रख सकते हो, 100 साल 200 साल का डेटा रख सकते हो, जितना रखना है रख दो। मगर इलेक्शन कमीशन 45 दिन में सीसीटीवी को खत्म करना चाह रहा है, वोटर लिस्ट नहीं दे रहा है। तो दे आर कल्यूडिंग विद द बीजेपी, दे आर हेल्पिंग द बीजेपी डिस्ट्रॉय द इलेक्शन सिस्टम इन इंडिया।
राहुल गांधी ने कहा कि भारत का चुनाव कोरियोग्राफ किया जा रहा है, मतलब इस तरह से सजाया संवारा जा रहा है, तारीखों का ऐलान इस तरह से किया जा रहा है कि चुनावों की धांधली आसानी से की जा सके। उन्होंने कहा कि 6 महीने लग गए एक विधानसभा के वोटर लिस्ट के अध्ययन में। अगर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक लिस्ट मिल जाए तो कुछ सेकंड के भीतर पूरे देश की लोकसभा विधानसभाओं के नतीजों का मूल्यांकन किया जा सकता है। वोटर लिस्ट को लेकर डकैती कैसे हो रही है, राहुल गांधी आगे बताते हैं और कहते हैं कि हर चुनाव के बाद कुछ कारण गढ़ दिए जाते हैं, तरह तरह से समझा दिया जाता है बीजेपी क्यों चुनाव जीत गई, लेकिन उन्हें शक होता जा रहा था, पता चल भी रहा था, मगर ठोस प्रमाण नहीं मिल रहा था, जिसे लेकर 7 अगस्त की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में वे हाजिर होते हैं। उन्होंने जो डेटा दिया है और उदाहरण दिए हैं वो चुनाव आयोग के दिए गए डेटा से ही दिए हैं, खुद से कहीं और से गढ़कर नहीं लाए हैं।
करोड़ों लोगों को सस्पेशन था कि दाल में क्या कुछ ना कुछ काला है। बीजेपी को एंटी इनकम्बेंसी नहीं लगती थी। ओपिनियन पोल